Um, and all throughout, you had folks who were, especially Black people from the South and in the South, who were kind of recasting what the South could be, what it could sound like. So, first off, there's kind of a parallel story of most genres that become symbolically aligned with Black folks over the past century, even a little beyond, have been associated with the South in some way.
Yeah.
Blues, jazz coming out of New Orleans, soul. Even the roots of rock and roll. Everybody's kind of like the roots are in the South. Um, Interestingly, hip hop is probably one of the few where that's not the case.
Where does it come
Where
from the
no,
South?
yeah, I couldn't hear you.
You said where it doesn't like come from the South.
Where the myth isn't that it comes from the South, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm just talking about the way that people talk about its origins.
yeah,
Nobody, but you have folks that are kind of recasting our idea of like what the South could be, right? I'm thinking about um, folks who kind of evoked the South as kind of, uh, protest music. And I know this isn't the original version, but Mary Clayton doing Southern Man and also doing Sweet Home Alabama. That's just a real, encapsulation
yeah.
of what it means to be kind of navigating space in the South, or also creating the South as a home space. The way that we get from Gladys Knight, Midnight Train to Georgia,
It's a great migration
um,
song.
right? It's a remigration song. They're
Yeah,
like, well, that's enough of LA. I'm going to
yeah,
Georgia. Like, it's and throughout you've had folks who complicate the story, that romanticizing narrative, that one that seeks to uh, recast the history of the South as something that is disconnected from some really abhorrent things, right? You have folks who have insisted on, let's say, the stakes of, and this goes back to like, Billie Holiday singing Strange Fruit,